I'll say it again since I hadn't recorded yet. So today we're learning how to factor trinomials. We've already learned two ways to factor, and factoring means to unmultiply. We learned how to take out a GCF, that's part A here. We've learned how to factor a difference of squares, that's part B. Today we're focusing on part C, which is breaking a trinomial apart. Okay? So, that's the goal. There we go. Alright, so first of all though, let's review a little bit. I would like you guys to go ahead and multiply these together for me, please. So, how do we do that? Tell me what to do.
You want to start this off? Oh, I know how to do it.
What? A box, right? That's how I showed you guys with a box. And what do I put where?
You put the x on the one first one.
X minus 1 on the top.
2x on the side.
2x plus 5 on the side. And then we fill it in, right? Yeah.
There's another way of FOIL, like first, outside, okay.
What's 2x times x?
2x squared.
What's 2x times negative 1? And then 5 times x? And then 5 times negative 1. Okay. So we have three things now. We have 2x squared, right? These combine together to make 3x. And then this is my last one, and 5. So we're going to be reversing that process today. So today we start, last time we started with these two parentheses and we multiply them. Today we're going to start here and we're going to work backwards. Okay? Until we get to the front. And that's factoring trinomials. Okay? It is a little bit. It is a little bit. It's not quite as simple as the other two that we looked at. There's a little bit more involved with it. There's a lot of guessing and checking involved. And sometimes your first guess fails. And so you got to try some other combinations to make it work. So it's a little bit irritating at times. But if you just have the spirit of perseverance, you can do it. All right, so here we go. Let's do an example.
Miss Bailey, I have a question.
Yeah.
I just need a yes or no from you. Should I do what I'm thinking that I want to do?
No.
Why not?
If you have to ask that question, the answer is no.
But I want to do it.
I'm so sorry. I answered
Okay,
it.
then what's the point of that?
Okay. Is ready? Okay. So I'm going to give you guys some steps on the side as we do this, okay? So here's step 1. In step 1, we start off with a trinomial, right? It's going to look something like this. I'm just putting letters where the numbers would be, okay? So we'll always start off with that. The first thing that we're going to do in step 1 is we're going to put 2 of those numbers into the box. This number in the front, remember where that came from out of our box?
Left corner.
That's right, it came from there. So our first step is going to be to put it back. And what else do we know?
The one at the end came from the bottom right.
The one at the bottom came from there. So we're going to put it back. That's our first step, is to put the first one in the top left and our last one in the bottom right. So let's do that. Step 1. What's going to go here?
5x squared.
And what's going to go here? 9. Okay? Okay, next thing we're going to do is this is where we got to start doing some guessing. So step 2. What we're going to do now is, right now what we have is we're going to have a number here and here, right? What we want to do is we want to start guessing some numbers that would go there. So we're looking for two numbers that would multiply to make 5x squared. Any guesses? What times what would
1 times 5.
times?
1 times 2.5 times 2.
So 1 times 5 gives me the coefficients, but I want x squared. So we should have an x here and an x here. Do you guys agree that would make 5x squared? So that's the first guess you have to make. Now luckily when it comes to 5, there's only one answer. It has to be 1x and 5x. That's the only choice we have. Okay? There's nothing else that makes 5. Just so you guys know, somebody might think, well, I have another possibility, Mr. Bailey. You could put a 1 right here and put a 5x squared here. It will never work that way. You'll always split the x's up evenly. Okay?
So then I'm on.
Okay. Step 3. Step 3 is we are now going to make another guess. We're going to guess what times what makes b. So what number times what number would give us this? So we wanted to figure out what makes 9. So what are some numbers that make 9? 3 times 3. You agree that works? But it could also be what? 9 and 1, right? So this is why our guess may fail. We may pick the wrong numbers to begin with, and unless you're really speedy at mental math, there's really no way to catch it ahead of time. Okay? You just kind of got to guess. We're walking blind here. Okay. Step 4. Step 4 is to complete the box. We're missing some parts, right? So I'm missing this box here and this box. So let's go ahead and see what that would be. What would go here? 3x and 15x. Okay. Now, step 5.
That already doesn't add up.
Bailey, it has to be -3.
You're good. You're good, but I'm going to pretend I didn't hear that because we don't always see. You mental math people are good at that. You can see that. I'm teaching 35 people.
Just let them do it. Just shut up.
All right. Here we go. Now, if you guys see it, awesome, because you're safe. But some of us may not see what some of us in here are seeing. So I'm just going to keep going because with this factoring thing, we're walking blind. We really don't know what's going to happen unless you're really good at mental math, okay? So here we go. Step 5, we need to check to see if it works. Now, how do you know if it works? The diagonals should add up to make the middle number, shouldn't they? So I'm going to put that here. The diagonals should add up to make the middle. So let me ask you guys, do the diagonals add up to make negative 18x? It's close. What do they add up to make? That would be, now, so if it fails, you have 3 things that you need to try, okay? The first thing you might want to try, I'm going to add a new step, step 6, because you don't know. We're just guessing numbers. It could have been anything. So, step 6, if it fails, that means we did some bad guessing. It's not our fault because you really don't know what numbers to pick. So if it fails, you have 3 things you're going to try. Try this first. Try changing the signs. Right? I mean, the fact that this makes 18 and I just want a negative 18, what do you think would fix that?
Making both of them negative.
If I made both of these negative,
They'll still be positive 9, but they'll still be
Yes,
negative.
positive though.
will that work?
Yeah.
Good. Now we're good.
No, it'll make 1.
So check it out. What's 1 times -3?
A negative times a negative is a
Jonathan,
positive.
shut up. Can you keep going?
1 times -3 is -3x. -3 times 5x is -15x, and those add up to make -18. But check this out. -3 and -3 still make +9. Okay, so if it fails, especially if you get the right number but the wrong signs, you really just need to change your signs. That's easy. Okay. Now there's other things though, like you may not even be in the ballpark. Like what if I add these together and I got something like 2? Well, that can happen. Now if that happens, you have 2 choices. You have 2 things you're gonna do. And maybe we'll get to an example of that. One thing is you could switch the numbers places, like these 2. Like let's say they were different numbers, you could swap them. That will make a difference. So sometimes if you just switch those numbers places, you'll get it right. These ones.
Oh, okay.
These ones. If you swap those, you're good. If you switch both pairs, you're just going to get the same answer again. But if you switch one pair, you're grouping them differently. So switch the places. If that fails also, you have to try different numbers completely. So let's say that the negative thing didn't work. Let's say that switching the numbers places didn't work. Well, then I would go back, and instead of doing 3 and 3, what would I do?
Start from day 1.
What else makes 9? Try 9 and 1. So if switching the numbers places doesn't work, you just got to try different numbers. So that's if it fails. And you know what? You might get really, really lucky and just get it on your first try and be good. But these are your options if it doesn't work. Try messing with the signs. If that fails, switch the numbers places. If that fails, try different numbers. So we're going to do a couple of things together here. So we're not done. I want to, but that's it. So I hope you guys wrote down those steps. They're going to be helpful to have. And after you've done it a few times, then you won't need the steps anymore, and you'll be good. All right, so let's do another one. And this time I'm going to have you guys walk me through the steps a little bit. Ready? Here we go. I want to factor 4 x squared minus 35x plus 49. Okay? So go ahead and write that one down. Yep. Okay, do step 1. You guys wrote down the steps, I hope. So do step 1. And I'm going to ask you what that is. I'm going to give you like just maybe 10 more seconds. Step 1's pretty quick. Yo. That's true. Yeah, so another issue, you got to know your times tables, which I know some of us are a little bit weak on. It happens. All right, LaFontaine, what's step 1? Huh? Make a box. Now we're also going to put something in the box. What am I going to put and where am I going to put it? Beautiful. Beautiful. Okay, do step 2. Do step 2. You already have it? Okay, good. Yeah. Yeah. All right, Anna, did you do step 2 yet? No. Okay. Let's try. Nelson, did you do step 2 yet? Step 2. Okay, so step 2 is to find out what 2 numbers multiply to make 4x squared. Now Nelson is hypothesizing 2x and 2x. Notice I say he's hypothesizing because I don't know if that's the right answer or not. But we'll find out at the end. Because it could also be 4 and 1, right? We don't know which one it is. All right, go ahead and do step 3. Step 3.
like full box.
Okay, step 3 is we're looking for two numbers that go here and here that would multiply to make 40.
I'm sorry.
Oh.
All right, Adrian, what do you think, buddy? Where are you, Adrian? I'm still getting used to these seats. Hernandez. There you are. Okay, no problem. Okay, what'd you get, Hannah? 7 and 7 works. 7 times 7 makes 49. Now, it's probably 7 times 7. It technically could be 1 and 49, but they don't usually use really extreme numbers like that, so it's probably 7 and 7. I'm concerned about the 2 and 2, though, because there's nothing wrong with 1 and 4. 1 and 4 is good. So I'm feeling like the 7s are probably good. I'm feeling like the 7s are probably good.
Sorry to break it to you.
You don't think it's going to work? We're going to go through with it anyway. Let's see, because I don't know yet, honestly. I'm not thinking. All right, so go ahead and do step 4. Step 4. Hopefully you guys wrote down the steps. Well, actually, it's still on the board. That's good. Yeah?
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought.
Oh, if I need you, I'll come to you. People watching the video might want to fast forward because I'm not pausing.
Wait, what?
Yeah, all this long silence. John Chavez, what's the 4th step?
You complete the box.
That's right. So did you do that?
Yeah.
What did you get?
14x.
Uh-huh.
14x.
Okay. Step 5. Adrian Canizales. What's step 5? Yep. Check to see if it works. Eric, how can we tell if it works? They should add up to make the middle. So these two should add up to make the middle. Does 14 and 14 make negative 35? Okay, so is it even the right number? No. Now, if it was the right number but opposite signs, we would just change the signs again, right? So I'm going to skip that. But what's another thing that we could do? Hold on. So my other options are I could switch places. Would it matter if I switched 7 and 7? That would be pointless. Would it matter if I switched 2x and 2x? That would be pointless. So I'm not going to do that either. I need to try different numbers. No, I'm modeling the thinking here. Now, Mr. Bailey said they don't use really crazy numbers like 1 and 49. They could. So I'm probably not going to change the 7s. So what should I probably change?
The 2s.
The 2s. So instead of 2x times 2x, what should we maybe put instead?
Negative 4 and negative
Okay,
1.
let's try that again.
It should be negative 4 and negative 1.
Oh, so negatives?
Yeah.
Okay. We'll get to that. We'll get to that. Yeah, so this is a guess and check thing. So what you do is you will either have to redo the box or erase a lot because it's guess and check. You're not going to nail it every time on your first try. It's just part of the game. All right. So now John's telling us ahead of time. He already knows they both have to be negative, but I'm going to pretend I don't know that yet because some people aren't there yet. So here we go. Let's fill it in. So we tried different numbers. Now let's fill in our box. What goes here? 7x. What goes here?
28. Negative 28.
28. Does that add up to make the middle? But it's not negative, but it's the right number. 28 and 7 make 35. What did we say we have to do when it's the right number, wrong sign? Just make them both negative. Now, John, you put your negatives here. John, you put your negatives here. That's fine. But I'm going to put mine here. And it will work either way. But just so you know, usually they're going to put them on the second number. So on a multiple choice test, be prepared that they would not put the negatives here. They would put them there. Not that you're wrong. Yeah, I guess you could put it that way. Yes. All right, and so guys, here's our answer. It's 4x. I didn't write this in the last one. This was naughty of me. My answer is 4x minus 7, and what else? Box it, because that's our answer. Okay, I didn't write our answer in the last one.
Can we do some
Maybe. Maybe.
Or maybe we just leave that.
So, how do you know when you just need to change the signs?
If the number doesn't
Right number but wrong sign. You only need to switch the numbers places if the numbers are actually different. And if both of those fail, then you need to try completely different numbers. Now, I don't know if you guys can handle this. Might be for the people who are a little bit more ready for this. Like, you asked for some more practice. John seems to be getting it over here, and Vanessa, you're. So if you guys are feeling comfortable, let me give you a suggestion. You know how we have to guess these numbers, and we're not always sure.
I figured it out.
You would never put a number here. Like, I know this has nothing. Just pretend we're setting up a box, and you guessed a number here, and you put 8. I already know that's probably going to be wrong. The reason why
It's always on.
is because these two numbers cannot have a common factor. Like, what goes into both of these? So they should not be divisible by anything in common. They should be completely separate from each other. Just so you know. Just so you know.
So that.
Wait.
That's a trick I'm
Is that
sharing.
an 8?
Huh?
Does that always work?
It does. So if you're ready for that fact, it's helpful for reducing the guess and check. However, for a lot of us who are just getting used to this, it's a little bit of a cognitive overload. So, all right.
Excuse me.
So, you need that? What did you need? Okay. So, I'm going to put one up, and I'm going to see how you guys do. We're just going to do a lot of these today. It's all we're doing is this. We're just going to do a lot, and I hope by the end of the day, you guys, yeah, we're done. Like, this is all we're learning. So, here we go. Let me get one to you guys here. Ready? All right, this is a student practice. I would highly encourage you guys to work together. Matter of fact, I would pick someone you want to work together with now, because if you know how we're picking numbers, right?
Yeah.
If they pick different numbers than you, are you going to be able to work together very good? No. So if you agree who you're going to work on with now, you guys can agree to pick the same numbers and help each other out. So I would say work together with a set person. And here's your problem. So we have I don't think I gave this. No. Let me do this one. 4n squared minus 15n minus 25.
Trying to trick us there with the end. Huh?
I'm just getting it off a piece of paper. No, I'm not intending to trick you guys. There you go. So, that's for you? Okay, yeah.
And it's nice writing.
Okay, I'll help you. Let me bring